fishing, it's in my soul.
Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way. And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing. Here's your host, Joe Simons. Like diamonds.
What's up, Salt Strong Nation? Joe Simons, like diamonds. Got my bro Luke here. We're on a flat. We got some blackout chum, and we're gonna try to get some bait here. Even though it's cold, you see we got our jackets on. It's still technically winter time. And we're gonna try to bring up some predator fish, which is a kind of a second cool benefit of this blackout chum powder. It's things like trout and mackerel, even some snapper will come up to the boat because you're just kind of bringing life around you.
Yep.
So we're gonna see what happens here. So talk about this, and Luke got a little overly excited and destroyed the entire bag.
Yeah, this is one of our demo bags, so yours will be nicer. It'll have one of those zippers where you can just, you can seal it.
Like a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, because this is dry chum. The cool thing about it, we've tested a lot of chum. This has been the best overall. It's dry, so it can store for a long time. You don't have to use it right away. And it just flat out works, most importantly. And so we're out here now. We'll show a demo. We've never done a podcast on just start to finish on chumming, so we thought let's just go ahead and do it. And the conditions didn't turn out as good as we thought. Cold front just came through.
Probably hear the wind in our mics.
Yeah, not good for getting baits on the flat, but I only have my 8-foot net ready. So we're on the flats, and we're gonna put this chum out and just show you how it works. And we probably won't catch, we'll surely catch pinfish. Pinfish love it. Whitebait loves it as well. The whitebait is probably pushed off the flats today. So I can't guarantee whitebait. There will be some pinfish, and they'll be here soon.
And then we flip the coin, I get the awesome job of trying to catch some fish around here, because we did this kind of the same area a little bit further over there with Shauna, my little 9-year-old daughter, just a couple weeks ago. Same deal, like we had our full-on ski clothes on. It was freezing out, and we used the chum. We brought the fish up, caught some bait, which kids love playing with bait in the live well, and just caught a ton of trout, and even had a couple mackerel come by, because once again, it just kind of brings life right up to your boat. So I love this stuff. I'm pumped for you guys to start using it as well. For right now, just because we can only get this in limited batches, it is for insider members only. It might stay that way forever, but man, this stuff just flat out works.
Yeah, and so I'll show you how it works. And what I like to do when I first start out is just throw some out. This is just the dry powder. It's on the surface. The wind's gonna take it around a long ways. It's gonna bring in some fish from a longer ways off. The pilchers, obviously, the whitebait will a lot of times hang up further or higher up in the water column. Ballyhoo will show up, and then we'll just get a couple more handfuls out. So now it's on the surface, and that wind is taking it down this grass flat. And this is that should help bring in a lot of bait. So another cool thing about this chum, this is one thing that we did just to make it easy, because a lot of people just dump the chum in, and then you get it in the bucket, and now you have to put some water in, and a wave comes in and slashes a bunch of water, and now you have way too much. You have a lake in there. You don't want that. So what we do that's unique is we provide scoop. And so what we do is I'm going to use 4 scoops today. So this will be a 4 scoop trip. And so I know the ratio of powder to water with this chum, it's 2 to 1. So for every 2 scoops of powder, I need 1 scoop of water. So I believe that was 3, and here's 4. Again, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but this is going to be the ticket. So we have our powder in there. Let's get a look in there, just straight powder. And what it needs is some water. And so now you don't have to go out and get some fancy Zephyr Hills water or whatever. Just go and grab it straight from wherever you're fishing.
Fancy Zephyr Hills water. you are a Polk County boy.
Yeah, and so now you have it looks like there's a little bit of liquid in there, but that's cool because there's a lot of powder. And so what I do is I just mash it up a little bit, try to get it in the sun so you can see. So just mash it up, and what this is going to do with that ratio, with the proper ratio, is this going to get just a nice pasty like consistency where it's not. There's not a lake, there's not floating water in there, there's no puddles, and there's also no just totally dry powder. And as you see, as I'm moving it around, it kind of naturally creates its own little balls. So that's perfect, that's what we want. And so what we do with these little balls is we just throw them right out. Throw them right out to start, kind of do a spread. Right now, there's really not a lot of current. The current's really not all that impressive for the day. And like the tide just started coming in. it's supposed to be going that way, and the wind is going against it. So it's the tide's not doing much, so we're using the wind a lot. Right now the wind is just blowing the top column of water, and so we're basically relying on that. And it works, right? This powder, it travels a long distance. And so even though the conditions aren't perfect, I will be shocked if we can't get a pretty good amount of bait relatively fast.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, now we're going again, as Joe mentioned before, we're just gonna, the bait fish are gonna show up, they're gonna be fired up, that's gonna surely activate the trout and mackerel and whatever other fish might be out here.
We're already getting some pinfish are nailing.
And hopefully we can have a nice
Slam shady.
Nice little feeding frenzy.
Yeah, and it's just right there behind the boat. All those pins are already there. So before too long.
Okay, yeah, they're already, I see them in the chum slick now.
Trout will show up.
Ooh, I just saw a flash. I don't know.
Ooh.
That might have been a whitebait. So I haven't been timing this, but it's probably been like a minute or two since throwing these chum balls out, and there's already a decent amount of fish down there. So I like to kind of spread it out at first, and that way you can kind of, as the stuff goes around, it just covers a lot of area. And then after like a minute or two, I'm throwing the same spot every time. Same spot every time. That way those fish just kind of ball up in one spot. They get comfortable. They feel nice and safe. Ooh. And there we are, Joe's got something on.
Just dropped it.
Yeah, so they feel nice and safe right there. The food just keeps coming to them, so they have no reason to leave, and that very well might be a whitebait. This water's a little bit murked up with all this wind.
Yeah,
that's looking promising.
There's a ton of pinfish down there. Holy smokes.
Yeah, and so then check this out too. This is just natural. Like I'm not balling this stuff up. It's just with the right consistency of water to powder, it just naturally will just ball up and just toss them out and let them do the work.
What I'm seeing here is I'm having some ladyfish come up. Just another fun way. I mean, this is basically uniting families. Blackout Chum does, which is our mission here at Salt Strong. I mean, that is so much fun. Yeah, if you're experienced, ladyfish are kind of boring. It's kind of like, oh man, I don't want to catch any more ladyfish. But man, for kids, like my two daughters think it is the coolest thing ever that this ladyfish is like tough as can be, and it's essentially like a small little tarpon. Kids absolutely love it. And ladyfish always seem to come in these chum slicks, and great tarpon bait too for the summer. Yeah. And just cut bait for big redfish. Oh, here we go. Oh man, it's a bunch of ladies.
Yeah, I can't tell. This water's a little bit too dark to identify exactly what they are, but it is looking like whitebait, and
that would be crazy here in the winter time.
Definitely not expected, but it's either whitebait or it's just a whole lot of pinfish. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the live well going, because either way, we're about to have some good bait.
Yep, so some good news. We were talking with our friends over at Z-Man, boy Daniel Nussbaum, the president there. And they are going to be testing out Slam Shady, because they're obviously doing Slam Shady on now, 6 different molds. We're gonna be adding a 7th. Shrimp, Slam Shady Shrimp. So yes, you're listening to the podcast, you're one of the first to know about it. And we're pumped. It's still going to be another, I don't know, I'm guessing 6 weeks out. Unfortunately, this whole COVID thing still has everything slowed up. Nothing happens quick like it used to for a million different reasons. But man, I am so pumped to see the Slam Shady shrimp, especially in their cool material. I mean, that's 10X, Elastec strong. Tough to beat it. Speaking of strong power prawn, whoa, still catching all kinds of fish. I wish we'd get more of that stuff in. That's another one. It has just been so tough to get a lot of these different lures, jig heads, even blackout chum. We're limited on how many we can get. It's just been frustrating. But good news is, as our boy Justin said, in an email to a member yesterday, he was asking about some different rods and reels that we got coming. He's like, we have a metric ton of stuff coming. I'm pretty certain it's about $500,000 worth of like pending orders that we have out there. That is a metric ton of tackle. Now they're hitting right next to the boat.
All right, yeah.
So these Ladyfish and trout are coming right up here next to the boat now.
It's getting cast net time.
Oh, baby boy.
So if Joe was helpful, he'd be taking over chum while I'm doing this, but he's probably not. He's probably gonna keep fishing.
All right,
but
I'll get
what I do is even just when you're doing it by yourself, just throw some out, and then like I threw some out, and then got the live well going. I threw some out. Now I'm getting the net cleared.
Ooh, that wind is
so you don't have to have multiple people. It is helpful, but it's not a requirement.
I'll get some out there.
Cleared the net. Get some out, and so throw them right there. Just throw them every like 10 seconds or so. So right now,
Mississippi, two.
Let's wait on these waves to. No, like directly. It needs to go directly the same exact spot every time.
Oh, well, thanks, Coach. That's how you do it right there, Code. Oh yeah, there's some bait down there.
Yeah, so that boat wake just knocked us around a little bit, so we needed to keep our bearings, and then we need to get probably 5-10 tosses, bigger balls, and throw it exactly the same spot.
Big balls, same spot. Oh yeah. So what are you thinking, man?
I'm thinking you're going too far left. Same spot right there.
Have you ever dealt with the wind before?
Sheesh.
Whole boat's moving.
Sometimes it's better just do it yourself. Sometimes you just never know. But there's a lot of bait there. So even with Joe's lackluster performance,
I'm hearing a lot of excuses.
We should get a lot of bait.
A lot of excuses.
And just an important thing too, just to know that every time you're getting bait fish on a clear day like this, the fish can, especially in areas like this where a lot of people are catching bait, the fish get smart, right? They can outrun a lot of nets. So it's best to do this early in the morning, just so you don't have to deal with the sun helping them see the net. Sometimes you can't do that, and that's why chum is even that much more important. But it'd be cool if there were some cloud cover. I would actually wait. I wait till a cloud is blocking the sun and then throw the net.
It doesn't look like we're gonna have that.
Yeah, we're not gonna have that today. At least not anytime soon.
Thin clouds.
So yes, Joe, get a tight ball, like a bigger one, like the size of a golf ball.
Yep.
And drop it down. And so I want to make sure that I see him. Dude, you got to go right there. Come on now. See, they're all right there. Get it right there. Dude, further right. Straight out from the boat.
Give me a time, like if we're looking at the clock.
Noon.
Oh, noon. Okay. That's all you had to say.
Right where all the flashing is. Those are white bait. This is good bait. Now Joe's got them all over the place, and now we have to wait a little bit longer.
Oh, come on. Cody, have you ever heard this many excuses?
Okay, they're in there now. Yep.
All right, ready? All you had to say was 12. Remember Hollywood?
Straight ahead of the boat.
Teaches us all the time. Don't just point and say straight or right. You got to give a time.
All right. Now with all my talking trash, I'm going to throw a terrible cast. All right,
ready?
I'm pretty sure that's white bait. If not, this is a bunch of pinfish.
All right, well, you know where to cast. Just look for the big old ball, 12 o'clock there, Bob. Want one more?
No, that's good.
Let's see what he's got.
Just make sure I see them flashing.
I'm gonna give you one more for good luck. Really for good measure. Bring them right up to the boat, baby. Blackout chum.
I'm gonna be very surprised. That's gonna be pretty cool if that's
chum and done. Chum and done. Chum and done. Chum and done. If you are listening, all right, that's
kid still got it.
Wow, kid still got it. He ate some pancakes for breakfast with extra syrup.
All right, let's see.
So if you guys are listening and not watching, Luke just threw a brilliant cat. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of shine down there. Cody, get in here. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, yeah, we got white bait.
Holy smokes.
We got wintertime white bait.
The middle of winter.
Oh my gosh.
Gutter jack.
That's a lot of bait in there. All right, watch out, Cody. Let me
oh my goodness.
Let me get these guys in live well. So that really wasn't that long of, you guys have been watching the whole time from us chumming. Check out, get that net right there. That is some really good bait. Excellent bait. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump this in the live well. Oh my gosh. Look at that bait. That is amazing.
That is white bait. Here doing a podcast on Blackout Chum. Woo! It's still wintertime. We got our jackets on. Dude, that was crazy. Did not expect to see that much white bait here now.
We are set for bait. Yeah, I really
haven't. Some nice pinfish in there as well.
I haven't been seeing much white bait on the flats. I just started seeing some about a couple miles from here the other day. Man, that is cool. All right, that's more than enough. So that's a one and done cast.
One and done. They call it chum and done for a reason.
Perfect for winter. We'll let a couple of these guys go.
Got a couple more there at your feet.
Nope. Yeah,
all right. Now I'm going to see if I can catch a couple fish there, Code.
But just so you can see what these guys are, Let me get this guy out of here. Oh, he's being difficult. But just so you can see what, yeah, look, this is they're in a tough spot. All right, those will be chummers later. But just so you can see what this bait is, I'll just show you a pilchard. So this is called whitebait. There's a lot of scaled sardines. I guess actually I believe scaled sardines is probably the proper term, but a lot of people call them whitebait. These are excellent bait fish. This is an awesome bait. It's more of a summertime thing. They obviously love this chum, as you can see, and we had an absolute ton of it. Some of them are really big, but all these sizes work. Some of these a little bit bigger. Let's see, once they can start, going across your hand, that's a really good bait fish. Snook, redfish, trout, everything absolutely loves that bait, and so we're loaded. That's more than enough. Now it's time to go fishing. What do you think, Joe? Any luck up there?
Well, I just made one cast so far and still reeling it in. Changed it up to the Slam Shady Bomber. I know there's got to be some big trout hanging around up there. Dude, that was awesome, man. So now what? What are we going to use all the whitebait for?
Well, it's time to go hit some of the flats. We actually probably could just stay right here, and I just need to get rigged up for it. We could stay right here and just keep chumming and just have the whole feeding zone, and we'll catch an absolute boatload of trout.
Yeah.
Because I know they're here. They're probably just a little bit lethargic, and having a nice lively whitebait is something they just cannot resist. That was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So that's how it's done. It's really not that hard. A lot of it's about just getting yourself into a pretty good spot. In this case, it was pretty simple, where we knew a cold front came through and we're on the edge of a channel. And I just used the wind because there's not much current going on. We used the wind, got a lot of chum out there. Those bait fish got into it, came right up to us. One net, one cast, locked and loaded.
Chum and done, baby.
So might as well go end it so that we can start getting some actual fishing in and see what we can catch. That was fun.
Let's do it. Yeah, definitely a shorter podcast, but I mean, no reason to keep casting over and over again. We're going to save some bait for you guys. But definitely pick up your bag, Blackout Chum. Once again, for members only, it is the easiest way and the best way that we have seen to catch bait for inshore saltwater fishing. There's obviously some other chums out there for reef fishing. If you're fishing for, big snapper and 70 feet of water, you're going to use different stuff, obviously. But talk about, too, some of the other properties, because you've been freezing this even for putting in pinfish traps now. Yeah, man, there's already a bunch down there. I was just throwing the rest of the chum out. There's just as many as we just caught there already. Crazy. Yeah, so it just works. I mean, pinfish love it. They're just all pinfish, pilchard, whitebait, all of them love it. So I've been using this stuff in pinfish traps. Before, I'd always use those chum blocks, and the chum blocks work great. I'm not saying the chum blocks don't work; they work great, but they're just a mess. And in particular, we got this new boat recently, and that I was messing with the chum block, and when you're dumping the pinfish out, all that juice from the chum block, because that's really just cut up fish, and just chopped up fish, and that was just got on the boat, and it was a nightmare. It was just a huge pain to rub off. It just basically, whatever juices or acids or whatever in those fish just really got on the boat. It's amino acids, dude.
It's amino acids. It's science. And so what I started doing is just getting this chum and putting the water in it just like normal, but freezing it. I put it in the freezer overnight, and then I can size it to whatever size I want to use. And then I put it in a pinfish trap, dump it in as normal. And by the time I'm picking the trap out, all the chum has disintegrated, and there's pinfish in there. So you get the pinfish without the mess, and so now that's my favorite way to go out and catch pinfish. So
pinfish without the mess. That could be another tagline. Chum and done.
Yeah, but most of all, I do this, right? Because it's so easy. As long as you can throw a cast net fairly well, you just go out on the flat.
I think you might be able to catch them with a dip net right now.
Yeah, they're really thick.
Thick down there. Cody, come. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah,
try to come up here, at least zoom down there. Let me get out of your way as well. Just right in there. Just keep looking for the flash. Did you see them?
Let's see if we can
just
watch right where that is.
Just kind of zoom in.
We need to get a polarizer for that, but there's a lot.
Yeah, I wish if you stick long enough, you'll see them, and they're all on the outside now. They're just little flashes. It is crazy. nuts. That's great news for you, Tampa, because we're in Tampa Bay. If you guys wonder where we are, I mean, great news for Tampa Bay angler. Oh, got one. Got me a fish. To have, I just lost it. Have that kind of whitebait showing up already in winter, pre-spring. So if you're listening to this and it's already mid-March by the time we publish this, we always record these at least a week or so in advance, or most of the time we do. And it's still cold. We had a cold front out. It was awesome.
Yeah, early March, and we're getting some good bait. And yeah, as you saw, it's easy. And so yeah, if you're a member, highly recommend getting this stuff. It flat out works, and it probably won't last long, because I know a lot of members are loving use live bait, and summer's going to be spring and summer right around the corner, and it's going to be a game changer for that season in particular.
You will definitely see a lot of blackout chum out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it.
So we can start fishing.
We out. Of course, you can find it at fishstrong.com. Members only. Members get 20% off everything in the store. We are just constantly coming up with reasons for you guys to become members and to stay members. Those are our two big goals, is how do we get more members, and then how do we wow them? How do we continue to serve them, help them become better anglers, save money, and ultimately save time? We also introduce the coaching as well, where every Thursday we get on a live Zoom call and do coaching, right? You want to get good at anything. Oh man, there's a lot of fish over there in that little hole. They're swiping like crazy.
I'm gonna pull out the double leprechaun rig.
Oh, dude, right out there.
Let's see what these fish are.
Oh, you see a hit?
Oh yeah, dang, that looked like that might have been mackerel.
I think it is mackerel. That got broken off earlier before we started filming, and I think that.
Yeah, and so the current is. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Double it up. Well, that's a nice trout.
Oh, I might have. Dang, I think I had two fish on for a second.
Did you?
Yeah. So
see, here's what else happens in the aftermath of chumming is all of a sudden, all this whitebait is here, and guess what else shows up?
Oh, sorry there, little buddy.
The trout. Mine's bigger. That Slam Shady.
Yeah,
Can't compete. Here, let me get over here so I can take this off there, Luke.
Yeah, so
we thought the podcast was done, and it just keeps on going.
Yeah, that's the direction that the current is slowly moving. And so that's probably why the trout are hanging over there. They're just kind of getting a little bit fired up with all that scent going around in the water, and yeah, it makes for a lot of fun. So this little double leprechaun rig has been a lot of fun. It's basically just two Alabama leprechauns on weighted hooks, and when fish are fired up like this, you can sometimes get two in one cast, which is a whole lot of fun. So it's literally just two of the leprechauns all fluttering around in the water. It is
You did didn't you do a video post on how to rig it too?
No, I filmed it. Haven't yet posted, but that'll right by the time this goes live, it'll be there. But it just drives them crazy. Oh man, just missed one. It absolutely drives them crazy.
You know, the double Alabama leprechaun, so deadly it's illegal in pro bass tournaments. Right there in the rules. They actually don't mention the Alabama leprechaun in particular, but yeah, we ended up just kind of looking at some of the rules in these tournaments, and you know, it says at any given time the angler may only have one lure, so this would count as two. That's why those Alabama rigs are not legal. Let me get over here, Luke, on this side. We'll do one more cast and see if we can go back to back. Man, isn't that crazy? Just a few minutes later, all of a sudden, predator fish. It's like ringing the dinner bell for them.
I think they're on.
They hear all that white bait.
They're just doing some short strikes.
Bringing them right up to the boat. Oh, come on, where are they? We get one more cast and we'll end this. But yeah, what I was saying is we started the coaching, and that has been awesome. So much fun for everyone, and we're all learning stuff. And that's where every Thursday we do an hour Zoom call with our insider members, and anybody can get on that wants to. And of course, we record them. And just coach, share ideas, share what's working. Talk about, like, get on satellite maps and talk about best type of spots, where to actually fish. You know, spots like, we'll show spots like this, like where we're catching the bait, and more importantly, why, and how to recreate it in your backyard. And,
yeah, it's all about the type of spot. That's one thing that that we always stress, and it's just so true. It's all about the type of spot. The type of spot based on the conditions is always better than a GPS spot, because when the conditions change, those fish move. And if the biggest mistake that we did, and I think the biggest mistake that most anglers do, is they just keep going back to the same spots over and over, and because they worked in the past, and without just factoring in all the different conditions, all the different variables that probably made it good. And then once you dial on those variables, then you can. There's a million spots. You just look for the right type of spot based on conditions, and it's been a total game changer.
And that's why Wyatt, it's this almost kind of part experiment. Wyatt's our full-time fishing coach. He was in the Carolinas and absolutely killing it. He used the exact same techniques and exact same intel that we're teaching. He moved to Texas. I don't know if you guys all heard that or not, but he moved to Texas. On his very first trip, he catches a slam. And he's killing it out there in a completely different state, whole new area, place he's never fished before, using these same techniques and tactics that we're teaching every single week. So we're gonna end it there, and we're gonna go catch some bigger fish with some of this live bait that we got. So guys, hope you enjoyed it. We appreciate you big time. Oh, did you see that? Oh man, they're nailing.
Yeah, I think they're onto us.
What is that? Oh, that's a big old needlefish is what that was. I was like, what just hit me up on top? You guys, thank you so much. Definitely come check us out at saltstrom.com. Join us in the club if you're not already a member. And if you are, we appreciate you big time. And can't wait to hear what you guys think about this blackout chum. We out. Peace.
See ya.
'Cause fishing, it's in my soul. It was